number 5. It has been rumored. Now, this has been rumored a few times before, but when I see it now, and I heard there was internal rumors that even what was Gareth Edwards, isn't he the guy that directed Rogue One? That when I think he said when he was on Lucasfilm, he actually got to see a new master they were working on inside of Lucasfilm that was a full 4K version of Star Wars, which has not been released at all yet. We know they're going to eventually put it out for a fact. The question is, when this comes out, we know there will definitely have the fucking option for the special edition bullshit that Lucas put out. Will we finally, because it's rumored that we're finally going to get the option at least of having the Unaltered Trilogy coming out. Do you guys think that's going to happen?
I say why not?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, now that Disney's acquired the property, it's time for them to make a little bit of money on that.
They know the fans want it.
Exactly. So just feed me. I'm a baby bird. Give me what I want.
40th anniversary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're going to put it on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Because the original never made it on DVD.
They did put out the Unaltered Trilogies on a quick DVD with no special features briefly, and then they took it down. But it was out quickly. But
was it? Because I never saw it.
Yeah, it was brief. It was quick. They put them out there. But that was, other than the Laserdisc editions that came out years before, those were the highest resolution ones that you had of those. But they got 4K masters out there for sure. I want it to happen. I think we have a better chance now of it ever happening than it ever has before, because I know that the internal people at Lucasfilm are very fan-oriented. I know that there are a lot of people like us that work for Lucasfilm right now that probably hated what George Lucas did to, again, not total hate for the man, but you know what I'm talking about. My question mark in the air is, I think it is very feasible, if not probable, that George Lucas, in his contract selling Lucasfilm to Disney, had in there the special editions are the original ones that you are going to sell and maintain. I could definitely see that happening. There was actually people that said that they heard, yes, that was part of the deal. That would not surprise me.
Sounds like some Scientology stuff.
Yeah, but you know how he's always been. Well, those are the actual versions in his head. The other ones don't exist anymore. I mean, he was very adamant.
Are you sure that's the case? Here's $3 billion.
Yeah, $4 billion.
No. Oh, no. Okay.
Yeah.
Well.
I hear you. Did you watch that?
You're calling the shots still.
Did you see that 2020 interview where you could tell he was definitely a little bit bitter about handing it off? And it actually made the comment that he sold it off his baby to white slavers. I mean, he quickly apologized for it the next day.
Because it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the exact
this
same
is
thing.
the guy that brought us Jar Jar Binks.
Oh, I know. Yeah, we already had fun topic on that one last week. I would love to see this. I really hope it's a possibility. I really think the only way in hell Disney has no reason not to do this, because they know how many people would want the money on it. If anything, put it as, both versions on the 4K Blu-ray you put out there. I think the only thing possible that would hold them back, especially from a business standpoint, because Bob Iger is one of the smartest CEOs on the planet, is if George Lucas had that on his contract, which I think is a definite possibility. It might have an expiration date, but I think that's a definite possibility. Plus, it also
I could see...
Go ahead.
I could see kickbacks. Like if you want to release this, I'm getting 25%, that type of stuff. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But of those rights, did George Lucas really own all the rights to all 3 of the first movies? I know he did merchandise.
It depends which rights you're talking about. I mean, Lucasfilm owned...
distribution rights.
Yeah, actually, I'm glad you brought that up, because here's where there's also another wrench into the gears. 20th Century Fox still has the lifetime distribution rights on A New Hope. Not the other 5. But on A New Hope. That makes... I don't know how that works with distribution with home media, because that's why when you still watch A New Hope, with whatever version you buy today, even if it's the new digital one since Disney bought them, you'll see the 20th Century Fox opening intro with the lights crossing at the beginning of A New Hope, but none of the rest. You didn't see it on Rogue One, you didn't see it on Episode 7, but they have that lifetime for Episode 4. So I don't know how that changes stuff up. I don't think that really makes a difference on whether or not when we get these 4K Blu-rays, whether or not... I don't think 20th Century Fox gives a shit if it's the unaltered original ones or the new ones. They just want to make money.
Yeah. If it's money in their pocket,
Yeah, exactly. So they're still... I mean, again, obviously, because we're talking about so much money and so many people will buy Star Wars for the 20th time, because when they find out they can get it in 4K Blu-ray, even as a logistical nightmare as this could be, you know it's going to happen because it's a lot of money. Look at getting Spider-Man into the Marvel Universe. Everyone said, no, they can't because Sony owns these rights and Fox owns X-Men's. Guess why it worked out?
Yeah.
So I have no doubt in my mind that these are going to come out in 4K Blu-ray. We don't know the time frame. It might not even be this year. I would be surprised if you're right that they miss out on the 40th anniversary. That's just stupid. So probably it's definitely going to be happening during the 40th year. But God, I'd love to see it. Because honestly, other than George Lucas, for some reason, trying to put at least a temporary block on that because he wants his original trilogy or his version, the special edition, to be the only version. Can you think of any other reason that they wouldn't do this?
Just not to prevent it, but just to kind of keep it in their pocket. And just use it at a later.
That's not bad either. They put out the special edition one to honor George's vision, and then in 2019, okay, discreetly on the side.
But the thing, when did he remaster those? Like
90.
Was it 98?
You mean taking the negatives and making digital masters? They, from what I've read from the Lucasfilm documentaries that they did, they had 1080p masters from the negatives when they did the original special editions, which was what, 97? Yeah, 97.
Okay.
Since between now and then, what's actually in the Lucasfilm vaults, who knows? What he told reporters before is no, he will never put out the unaltered version again in high definition because he said they don't exist anymore. When we remade and have 1080p masters from the original negatives and clean them up, those were the special editions only. So he says that they don't even exist anymore. Whether or not that's true or exaggerated, someone could do it. I mean, have you guys?
All you really got to do is go in and delete those added scenes.
Yeah.
Well, but I mean, going
crap.
back into the original negatives that need to be cleaned up, I mean, that's a lot of work. And you know what? The color correction they did on those, even the Blu-rays, is fucking weird. Look how pink Princess Leia's cheeks look. Have you guys seen? I know you've seen it, but have you heard about the despecialized editions that go around the internet? There's a huge, for those that aren't familiar with what this is, there's a huge fan base, obviously, of people that love the original Unaltered Trilogy, and they call it the UAT, right? The original, or the Gout. Isn't that what the original Unaltered Trilogy? I don't remember what the G stands for. Something like that. But you can search for the despecialized editions, and it's people that have spent tons of time, and they have different versions as they keep improving it and making it better, where they've taken any source they can of the original material. So some parts of the movie might be upscaled from the Laserdisc, some stuff might be from the actual Blu-rays that just came out, and they're basically trying to recreate the original Unaltered Trilogy from the highest quality sources they can find. And if that means them altering or cleaning stuff up frame by frame and color matching it frame by frame. So this is a big project that collaboratively a lot of people have worked on. I've seen them, and they're awesome. Some scenes, a few scenes here and there are a little bit blurry because you could tell the source that they got from there wasn't as good. But when you actually watch the color correction to match how the original movie was versus what they fixed in the Blu-ray version that came out, the color correction's a little off. You know, like, again, Princess Leia's cheeks, super freaking rosy blue, and it just, you know, you can tell they just put algorithms in to make it look as good as possible, but they didn't match what the original color scheme looked like versus what these are. Seeing how good that this stuff could be, if you can imagine a whole bunch of people doing this for fun in their free time at home because they love it so much, think what if Lucasfilm just put money behind it, even if they had to redo the negatives and do clean up from scratch again. I mean, God, how bad do you, I want this so bad. Your kids need to see Star Wars the way it was meant to be seen. Not this new crap with a goddamn musical number in Return of the Jedi that looks like it's a poor version of the Muppets and a sing-song. God, when you heard those, what, sax go, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, I'm like, what the fuck is happening right now?
You didn't want to listen to Anteater Lady just kind of sing a
Jesus,
tune.
how fucked up was that? That was so weird and out of place. I can't stand it. I can't introduce knowingly that to children.
I think we need to start referring to this as Old Testament Star Wars and New Testament Star Wars, because you seem pretty passionate about this.
And on the third day, George said, there will be CGI. And there was much misery and sorrow for decades. I really hope this happens. How many times have you guys bought Star Wars so far in the past?
Like 3.
Maybe like once.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, we had the tapes growing up.
Yeah.
Got the special editions.
VHS.
Yep. Then got the DVD. Then got the Blu-rays. I mean, Jesus. And so people would buy this all over again. I'm sure they'll throw a whole bunch of new behind-the-scenes stuff or whatever it is. I don't know how much more they can add because there's more content about how this was made than all the movies put together.
7 extra minutes of Han running down the corridor yelling, "Ah!"
Well, I'll see you in hell.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, how bad do you want this? I hope it's a lot. Let us know what you think in the comments below.